Financial institutions have been dealing with FATCA for the last few years. The banks, insurance companies, asset managements have been dealing with it for quite some time. Many of our non-financial service companies just didn't believe that FATCA applied to them. They thought it was purely related to the financial services industry. During the last 6 to 9 months, these non-financial service companies have realized that the regulations are so broadly defined that many entities within their group get captured by FATCA. Also, what's happened is FATCA has put withholding under a whole new light. There are many new forms that our companies fill out or have to obtain from others in order to do proper withholding. So following the FATCA rules, understanding how it impacts their entities, leads directly into how these forms are completed properly. Many companies initially think FATCA doesn't apply to them at all. They just don't understand how FATCA can apply to them. They're actually pretty surprised when we start talking about things like foreign retirement fund plans, treasury centers, holding companies. When we speak to any of our companies, it's important to understand just a small portion of their companies will be foreign financial institutions. But still, overall, it's important to classify every entity under the FATCA rules and understand how they'll have to fill out forms. Right now, it's so much more important to understand the exact type of payment being made, the character, what's the source, whether it's U.S. source or foreign source. All of those are important in understanding what's the proper withholding requirements. Companies believe that they are capturing this information appropriately. However, what we find during the course of our engagements is when you actually look into, let's say, the accounts payable systems, not all this information is readily identified. That could potentially put a company at risk for exposure of back taxes, plus penalties and interest. PwC brings a multidisciplinary team, the best of our advisory, tax, and assurance people to help a client understand the tax technical rules, what types of systems considerations. Also, think about it from an internal control or risk management perspective. By bringing this multidisciplinary team to the client doesn't need to wonder, where else should I get this additional service from? In fact, it's interesting how often our clients don't necessarily think who's the tax or advisory. They just look at us as the global information reporting practice.